Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the cabin. This is Q&A Sunday number 11. Got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. So let's get started. I get this question a lot. Have you ever done narration for movies? You sound like Grandpa Walton, you sound like the guy on Disney, you sound like this guy and that guy, etc. No, I've never done narration for movies, but I have a feeling someday someone will approach me for that. Whether or not I take it, I don't know. Like, I've had 14 TV offers now, and I haven't had one in several months now, but all of the major labels of the TV programs have contacted me, and I was back and forth with one. I'm not supposed to say the name, who it is, so I'm not going to, but it's one of the major producers on TV. And we had a Skype interview and then another interview, and we had several conversations. I was offered an incredible amount of money. You wouldn't believe the amount of money. But I know that it's not, life is not about money. Okay, money is great. I've said it a million times. I like the stuff as much as anyone else. We all want more money. I'm no different. But it's life first with me, always has been. A lot of very rich people are very discontent. You know, just look at Robin Williams for example. You know, he was a great actor, always playing really funny roles. I really enjoyed his movies. The guy was a riot. On the surface, it seemed like he was just the happiest guy in the world, and no doubt very, very rich. And he took his own life there not long ago, you know. And I know a lot of people that's got a lot of money, and they're miserable, you know. They don't know what to do with themselves half the time, and I don't know. I don't want to be like that. I know it works for me, and if I were to take one of those TV offers, I'd be answering to them for 2 years. They would own me. And to be honest with you, it would probably put me in my grave. So I like things the way they are now. I've structured my life the way I want. So I don't foresee going on TV, but as far as a narration gig, if I could do it from home, I would probably take it. But if I had to go and answer to someone and be under the crunch, probably not. No. But I get asked that question a lot. Which cabin has the harshest winter? Well, the one in New York gets the coldest temperatures, okay? It gets colder there than here, but we get a lot more snow than there. Now, here where the cabin is, we're pretty decent elevation in comparison to the area. Like if we just drive the 14 miles down to town, like when we go to do the uploads or run to get some groceries or something, there's no snow there right now. And we still got a ton of it here on the mountain. But I would say the harshest winter is the other cabin. But if we were to live there, it would be the easier winter because that one's only a half a mile in and the terrain is flat. And here, if we have to like hike up from where our vehicles are parked, it's all uphill. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. It's harsher living here, but colder temperatures there. Yeah, I think that wraps that up pretty good. JC, I'm starting a YouTube channel. Do you have any advice? My advice to you is never say anything that folks will disagree with. Good luck with that. Because even if you didn't say anything that they disagree with, they will twist it all around, misinterpret everything, and fire a bunch of flack at you. Like this last video of mine, for instance. You can show them how to build something or how to make their own water purifier and save them a bunch of money, and that water purifier, if the grid ever went down and you can't get water out of the tap and the grocery shelves have been cleaned right out because the place has been looted, that water purifier could save your family's life. Or give them a tip about a simple thing like a jug full of baking soda could save their family's life. But you say something that they misinterpret and they jump all over you and they give you boatloads of attacks. So that's why I don't talk about politics or religion, because no one is going to agree on it. And if your opinions don't fall directly in line with their opinions or their beliefs, then they're going to attack you. Whole bunch of people climbing all over me because I'm running off with conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes, conspiracy
theories.
I've been enjoying the channel for about 3 years and I've never commented until now, and then he proceeds to tell me what he doesn't like. Learned a lot, been entertained, got a bunch of good tips for 3 years and never ever commented, but now he's piping up because he misinterpreted something I said. I used to respect this guy until he went running off with conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes, conspiracy theories.
So, please tell me where in that video I said anything about conspiracy theories, that the government was conspiring to cause malicious damage to the population. Nowhere. What I said was, I'm not telling you that what they're spraying in the sky to combat global warming is what's killing these trees. I shared my observations, okay? The trees are dying off everywhere, and people write to me from all over the world. Now, if you can go reading through the comments, there's a lot of stuff in there about conspiracy theories, but they're not coming from my mouth, okay? Everyone has their own beliefs, and that's what makes the world go round, okay? When this was first brought to my attention about stratospheric aerosol injections and climate engineering and geoengineering and all of these things, I looked into it. I had a lengthy conversation with a weatherman, a real weatherman that's on TV. And he told me a whole lot of stuff about climate control. Okay? So I didn't just make up stuff or find stuff on YouTube to go run my mouth on. I actually went to the source. Okay, I'm not going to eat up any more of this episode talking about this. If you want to look into it, that's your business. But going to YouTube and looking up chemtrail debunking, that's not research, okay? There's no viable information on chemtrails. But there's lots of information and lots of money spent on climate control and climate engineering, and that is what my last video was about. Okay? Don't put words in my mouth that I never said and then get all pissy at me because of what you think you heard. Okay? That's what happens a lot. But if you want to do that, then that's your business. But you don't need to piss on my parade. Okay? If what they were spraying in the sky didn't fall to the earth, then why do they have to keep spending and spraying? Again, if you want to look into it, that's up to you. I highly suggest, however, that you don't look up chemtrails, because chemtrails are like the equivalent to the boogeyman. Okay? You got a man at the door with a gun. You look up boogeyman, all you're going to find is a bunch of fictional bullpoopy. Look up armed robber, you might approach the door a little differently. At least I would. I'd get the right information before I act. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to return to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, I'm done talking about that stuff. Let's get back to the Q&As. A lot of questions about when I was a carpenter. Like, did I go to school for it? Was I ever professionally trained? And can I show some of the photos of the houses that we built? I never went to school for it. I started low man on the totem pole, worked on a lot of different jobs as a laborer when I was younger. I just paid attention to what was going on, learned my way up the ladder, and eventually went out on my own. I worked as a subcontractor for a lot of different general contractors for quite a few years. I'll show you a few pictures of the last 2 houses that we built. These were the most prestigious projects I have ever worked on. Very, very complex roof systems. The framework was a real brain teaser. Thousands of dollars worth of Western red cedar, copper valleys, fancy angles. These places were just something else to work on. Very, very proud of those projects, even though I wasn't the general contractor. Then after that, I went to work for my old friend that did log cabins. I worked with him for a short amount of time, right up until the day before New Hampshire archery season. That was September 14th, 2004. I retired, and I'll never go back to it. So now I'm going to live out the rest of my days kicking around the woods and living life the way that I've always dreamed about. Okay, I'm going to answer another group of questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I get a lot of questions that are very, very difficult to answer. Like, how much money would I have to build a cabin and go live off the grid? How many subscribers would I have to make enough money to live in a cabin in the woods off the grid? I can't, and I get a lot of questions like that. I can't answer those. I have no idea what your spending habits are, how many things you can do on your own or that you have to hire someone. I don't know how high maintenance your girlfriend or your wife is or how much money you're going to have to spend on her. I can't answer those questions. But what I can tell you is you can do absolutely anything you want to do. Where the boundaries are is totally up to you. It all depends on your determination. How many sacrifices you're willing to make along the way, how important your goals are, and how much tenacity you have. That's what it boils down to. There's no set figure on how much money you need to make, or anything like that, okay? All my life, they were telling me that I wouldn't and I shouldn't and I couldn't when they heard the plans that I had for myself, because my plans didn't fall in line with what society feels I'm supposed to do, okay? When I told my family that I didn't want to finish school and I didn't want to bury myself in school loans, I wanted to go live out in the woods, they went, we've all heard it. That's the universal sound for holy shit. Like when you look at the sticker price on a brand new truck, you go, Obama cuts the second check for $500 million to climate control, which doesn't exist, and Trump goes, and then Trump pulls the U.S. out of the climate control agreement, Obama goes, and then Trump wins the election, Hillary goes, okay, I don't know what the heck that was. And then when Aunt B finally calls the man, Andy goes, that's just the way it is, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All the best to you. God bless.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go. There's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.